Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasha. Today we are watching episode 5 of Kingdom and we are watching Stray Kids. Before we get started, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on my channel and my videos. I would really appreciate it. Also, if you have just a second, please check out some of the links below, especially the link to my Etsy shop where I sell bracelets, paintings, and Polaroids based off of my love of K-pop and also my love of books. Before we get started, I've been saying this in every Kingdom video since last week. I'm feeling a little burnt out over Kingdom specifically. So I've decided to film the videos for episode 5, do all my analysis, to make it fair so that everyone from these past to double competition things, I don't know what's going on, to make it fair so that I've done all 6 groups for this challenge. That's what I was looking for. But after these videos, I'm going back to what I was doing before for a little bit. We're going back to album reviews and Get Ready With Me. We're going back to music video, dance practices, performance analysis. We're getting away from Kingdom a little bit. There's a lot of props. There's just a lot going on. And it's like wearing me down to the point where I'm not excited to film, even though I love talking about dancing. And I always said I would do what made me happy on my channel, and Kingdom is no longer bringing me joy. So we're gonna do something else after this week, but I have watched this performance so many times. I've taken all of my notes, a full page. So let's just dive in, let's get started. We're gonna be talking a lot about theme, and then a little bit about choreography and dancing. This is going to be a very theme heavy review because the performance is so insanely theme heavy. So if that is not your style, that's Kingdom for you, to be honest. Not really my style either. Okay. So, we're gonna watch this, then we'll talk about it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I'm losing my voice already. It's only my second video today. Ugh. Boom! Oh my god, right on time. Sick. Can I just say right off the bat, I'm so proud of Changbin in this whole performance. Oh my god. Aww. The way you can't see his face, but you can hear the emotion. Ugh. Sick. Woo! I love that, I love that, I love that. Oh, Felix! This part. Ah! Oh my god. Oh. I just realized Han raps. I've watched this so many times and I just now realized Han raps. Oh my god. There's so much in this. There's too much. Wow. 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 And the fact that this is the first time we hear Chan the whole time, crazy, crazy. Who do you listen to, Han, Sigmund, or Changbin? Or Chan, or Ayan, or Changbin? Oh my god! Changbin was rapping that whole time. That whole time. Oh my god. And dancing. And dancing. Yo. Whoa. Okay, there's so much to talk about. We're just gonna get started. As always, with my Stray Kids theme analysis, if we have different opinions, that's okay, because that's what happens with art. I could look at something, a painting of a flower, and someone else could see not a flower. I don't know. It's all different, and it's all up to us to decide what we think about it. So please don't take what I say as fact, or whatever I say is what Stray Kids meant to portray, because this is based on like my experiences and my like beliefs and just what I am putting onto the performance myself. And I feel a little extra nervous about voicing my opinions on what the theme represents because of the theme itself, I guess. Like, to me, this is like life and death, angels and demons and sacrifice and yes. And not everyone is going to agree with that or think that that's okay. I get that. And I hope we can just appreciate that this is a fictional piece. It is not, to my knowledge, based on real life. So let's just pretend we're talking about like a fictional book or something, because that's what helps me in situations like this. Okay, so we start with Sigmund singing his little heart out, doing a great job, putting the flowers into the hand of the statue of the little boy. To me, automatically, I'm thinking, okay, this person, whoever they were, has passed away. And it's like we're giving tribute to them, laying flowers at their grave. Then we come to Han, and Han is like touching the flowers, also singing to the statue, and then falls down on his knees. The timing of that, by the way, is so incredible and sick. It looks so good that it looks like he lands on a soundboard or something, and he's the reason you get the thunder and the lights flashing off, because it's so on time. It's so on time. The next section we get is Changbin surrounded by angels. That's what I'm assuming they are, the dancers at least, so I'm going to interchange the word angel and dancer as we go through. And it's interesting as we go through this whole performance. If you watch closely, there are moments when the dancers / angels will dance with Stray Kids and when they will not. So I'm going to try and point that out and talk about why I think that is. Once again, I don't know for sure that any of this is right, but the dancers do some nice floor work in this section. They do the very stereotypical Stray Kids knee swipe that I talk about all the time because Stray Kids do it all the time. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, JYP. Yes, I see it. I'm here. It took me a lot of times watching this to notice some of the effects that were happening. So as Changbin is rapping in this first section, we watch the path underneath him turn white and sort of open up. And then the next part that happens as he's running up, there's a shadow of a child or the person on the screen behind him, and the angels are trying to stop him but are too slow. And then once he gets to the top, the shadow like bursts into smoke or flame, and then he turns and everyone falls down. To me, what all of them falling represents is that a decision has been made and there's like no turning back now. Like you've made that choice and now all we can do is move forward. So the visual we get is Changbin falling, and then the next image is IN laying on the ground. I think that's incredibly smart. I also loved that we get a quick picture of a clock underneath him. And then what happens is we get Changbin laying on the ground, but everything is in black and white, and we can see the child for the first time. And the child gives something to Changbin, and then the camera turns, and the child is gone, and we're now in full color. What I think happened is the clock with IN represents that we're going back in time to a memory of Changbin with the person that they're trying to like rescue or get back. And then as the camera spins, we automatically come back to present time, real time. As that's happening, the dancers or the angels on the outside are in a circle, and they're doing really big arm movements, and the arm movements are actually directing the way that the cameraman or camera operator is walking around Changbin in that circle. So it's interesting to follow the arms because that's also following the camera. It was just a very cool addition that they had in the peripheral because you can really barely see it unless you're like trying really hard to notice what they're doing, but it does add to that effect of just like spinning in chaos a little bit. Okay, next we get I think most, if not all, of Stray Kids come out and begin dancing with the dancers. The dancers do the first 4 counts. I think it's I'll be your man, and then they go down, and then the dancers stop moving, and Stray Kids continue to move. What this represents to me is that Stray Kids have fully committed to whatever decision they have made about the sacrifice that's about to happen, and their angels are not totally on board yet, so they're not going to dance with them because they disagree and are still trying to convince Stray Kids that this is maybe not a great idea. We also get Stray Kids choreography to words, dun 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 dun, which we don't normally get from them. Like, normally we get it more, I guess we kind of do get it to words, but the Stray Kids songs are not always so like on that beat. It's normally dun 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 na 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 na. Like, it's just I'll be your man. It's very, I'm at a loss for what it would be. I'm at a loss for words today. But it's just a huge difference compared to what I'm used to from Stray Kids in terms of their choreography matching up with their lyrics. So it really caught my eye this time that we were so dun 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 dun. I don't know, that's not right, but like very sharp one-dimensional movements on the lyric. My favorite image possibly in the whole thing, second favorite, because Felix is my favorite. My second favorite image, they're on their knees, and then they like pull themselves up and their arms come back, and it makes like a wing imagery or like a flying imagery before they come back down and do like a b-boying kick move on the ground. I love that. I love that so much. It's so beautiful. Their poor knees. Once again, I'm talking about Stray Kids' knees because they sacrifice their knees a lot. But I love that. I loved it. The next section, Stray Kids leaves, and it's just Han and Lino. And in this entire section, the dancers or angels are dancing in sync with Lino and Han. And their choreography together is very interesting. Lino has to do a spin and be blind as he steps over Han. So the trust that they have to have together, that he's not just gonna like stomp on Han who's laying under him, is very impressive. But like, Lino's the main dancer, so I didn't doubt him. But it's still impressive that he spun over his shoulder blind and couldn't look to see where Han was before he landed, and they did it perfectly. So like, great job, boys, very nice. Once they are done, a path opens up behind them on the screen, and then that brings us into like the angel battle section. A lot of this is interesting when you watch what's going on with the paths opening up, because after this section that we're going to talk about, the color scheme of the screens and the floor changes drastically. I didn't even write this down. I'm thinking of it on the spot, actually. But let's talk about what happens in this next part. Oh, also to note, when the path opens up, the angels are gone. I don't know if it signifies that the angels went before them to try and clear the path because now they are on board with the plan. Possibly. So we see that Felix has been kidnapped and is dragged by his legs. First of all, I don't know in like a K-pop dance that I've ever seen the dancer dragged by their legs. I've definitely seen it in contemporary competitions with like a duet. That does happen, but it was very nice to be like, okay, sick, nice, good job. And then he breaks his chains, and because all I hear from you are cries, and he does this, like this, reaching back. That is so unique and so sick, and it's the best. For me, it's the best part. Besides like the ending with the harmonization with Changbin rapping, that visually is the best part of this for me. It's so good. Oh my god. Then we have Han, who raps. I don't know how I didn't like realize it any of the other times. I was going to mention in the video, oh, how interesting, Han sings the whole time. No, he doesn't. What a king. He does it all. I love him for that. That's why he's my bias wrecker. Yeah, so Han raps and he's fighting, and then we go to Changbin and we see that he's under two angels fighting, and then we realize that the angels that were with Stray Kids are now in this area with them, fighting to clear a path so that Changbin can go up with the knife and Han can open his hand and spill his blood for his sacrifice. And then we go to Felix doing like the chest isolation to like pull out his heart, I guess. And that's like they've made the sacrifice. There is no going back. Like they had made the choice, which is one step, but then making the sacrifice is the ultimate step. And there's no going back from that once it's happened. Like you can't put a heart back, you know what I'm saying? There's a song about that, isn't there? I don't know. So then we get Felix jumping, and we get into group choreography with, it's very interesting. There's a lot of jumping spins into floor work, all of this on the floor, which they do in another one of their songs. It's exactly the same, but I cannot remember what song it is. If I remember by the time I've edited this, I will put in either a note or a clip, but I probably won't have time because I am a working girl and I'm busy. But there's another song that they do this choreography on the floor. Anyway, it's very, where am I? Oh, this whole section, and from here until the end, it feels very desperate. And it's like you did the sacrifice, but something's not right about it, I guess. We get a lot of chaotic arms in this section, and as Lino does his cartwheel over Chan's back, the members like mimic him with their body motions. And then from this part on, any person who has the heart is controlling the movements of the other Stray Kids members. So anytime the person with the heart goes like this or down, Stray Kids jump up or jump up and spin. And it's really interesting to watch how movement of the heart causes a reaction from the group. The choreography for that part really just feels chaotic and destructive, and it does for like the whole rest of this. We slow it down a little bit with Sigmund bringing the heart to the statue, and then Chan takes the heart to the statue, and then we get this wild ending section. The interesting at the statue though is that there's the heart now, but the flowers are gone. So I personally wonder like how much time has passed, like once they made the decision to making the sacrifice, did the flowers wilt and die? Or is that just like a plot hole and there just aren't any flowers? I don't know, curious. So we get all of Stray Kids and the dancers. They dance after the battle / sacrifice. It's so intense. We have Sigmund, Han, and Changbin just like blowing our minds. We have Stray Kids doing floor choreography again. They're on the floor, they're doing spins, they're doing reaching, they're doing really big arms with really slow counts, and they keep reaching and spinning with their arms, and like it just looks so desperate. What it sort of looks like to me is like now that they've made the sacrifice and they can't turn back from this choice, they're struggling with it within themselves and sort of fighting with themselves to come to peace or come to terms with what they have done. So we get Stray Kids and the dancers doing all of that ending choreography. We get Ian, Chan, and Changbin singing towards the end. And then the dancers are leaving and it's just Stray Kids who collapse sort of in exhaustion from the pressure, from the fighting, from the like emotional drain. It was a lot. The whole performance, the story was a lot. And then we get the boy appearing behind Chan. And I have no idea what to make of this. Does that mean their sacrifice worked? Because it doesn't look like Chan realizes he's there. Was their sacrifice to get the boy back? Was their sacrifice to like bring him to heaven? Like, is it just proving that like no matter what we do in life, the people we lose are always there with us, guiding us? Especially when we need them the most and when we don't feel them or see them. There's so much it could be, and I think that's kind of what's great about it. I get sort of frustrated when books end really open-endedly like this, because then I have to decide what I think happened after, and it's the same with this performance. I have to decide why I think the boy is there, what I think it means, and yeah. It's I don't know, it could mean anything. It could mean 1,000 things. Infinity. It could mean anything. So, a lot happened. The choreography was just, like, in a word, chaotic. And I think while that helped the emotion, I think it may have been a little detrimental to the flow overall. I did really like the performance. I liked and disliked how much there is to unpack, because there is just so much. This isn't just like, it's just so much easier when you have choreography, formations, singing and rapping to just determine and decipher what they're trying to say. Like voices is another one where there's so much to that, but there's no props, it's just them, and they're telling the story through their bodies. This is so much to try and figure out. And there's a bunch of other creators who do it much better than me, so I encourage you to watch their videos. Because while I'm trying to be here talking about the dancing, you really can't talk about the dancing unless you also talk about everything else. And that overwhelms me a little bit. So I don't know if this helped anyone, if this made any sense. If any of you agree with me, please let me know in the comments, because that will make me feel better. And thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. And yeah, please be nice in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!